Bitcoin. This is really going sideways. I mean, I've got these sort of triangular type lines here, with a middle line in there. Okay, we blipped above there at that point. We've got 5 waves up here, but overall, what we're seeing is a sideways drift. One penetration there, one penetration here. Now we're sort of almost flatlining around this middle line. Essentially, this means it can go either way. I think there's a dual case here, as it were. I think we are entering quite a serious recession. Well, maybe a depression. I think, as I said before, I think it's not going to be a very good year, 2023. And I'm actually selling some cryptos at the moment, mainly because I'm rejiggling assets. I mean, basically, I've been selling shares to buy our new house in Tangier, so I'm sort of ended up a bit top heavy in crypto. So I'm selling stuff for that reason primarily. But I think it makes sense to get out, actually, of certainly some, well, depending on your holdings, because it could just come down from here. I'm not sure the environment this year is going to be terribly healthy for crypto. It doesn't. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, it's something that we can look at both ways. We've been sort of flatlining here now for a while, and the 5 waves are encouraging, but we're not. This isn't so encouraging. What we've seen since is not really the stuff you want to see in what might be a solid rally. This suggests something else, I think. But right now we're right at the decision point, as it were, in the middle of the range, and it could go either way. But as I say, I have my own reasons for lightening up at the moment. But certainly I'm not unhappy to do so, given the fact that I think we might just go down from here. I mean, I guess technically one could wait for a break, say above this line here, before doing it, or indeed you could have stops below this line here. Obviously stops are not ideal, as this little break here illustrates, indeed this break here as well. But one needs to have some kind of process. If you think of either adding or lightening up, then these lines are quite useful, but you may want to have to reverse again. And with it, obviously these things are all up to the individual. I don't want to go on at too length, but right now it looks like undecided to me, and this thing here is not really terribly helpful at the moment. So look at Ethereum. Right, Ethereum looks a bit better because we have a slightly better rally here. I mean, the other one, Bitcoin, is really, really feeble. This is a little bit more. Also, with possible 1, 2, possible 3. But I think these lines again are fairly relevant. I mean, if Ethereum can break above there, that would be a positive. But obviously, we just start to move down here and break through. I mean, we tried there but failed. But another attempt. In fact, this is the first attempt, I guess. Second attempt. So the third attempt is often the one that actually succeeds. Ditto here. We've got actually 1 attempt, 2 attempts there, 3 attempts, which didn't succeed, of course. So it'll be a 4th attempt to go higher up. But overall, I tend to suspect that the downside actually has the advantage here, as it were. But it'd be nice to be surprised differently. Also, of course, gold is looking a lot better. I mean, the cryptos are looking really quite shabby compared to what gold and silver are doing. And that does worry me, I guess. It's if crypto are going to be seeing a solid rally at this time, I would have thought it would have started by now, as gold and silver have. So we've got the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I mean, I think onwards and upwards. So certainly just getting involved with gold. I'm planning to do a little promo on this because I think it's quite important that people have gold and silver at the moment. So I'll be sending an email out at some point, just giving you a link to buy gold, but also setting up a system if you want to encourage other people to buy gold, so that you get a reward for doing that, which you may not want to do, but I think it's something quite worthwhile for other people to have some interest in gold or some holdings in gold, which might be possibly even life-saving in what could be to come over the next few years, I think. Anyway, gold looks pretty good. This could be a 4th, possible 5 there, I suppose, but sorry, I think it's all part of 3, sorry, let me start again. So that's really a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 possibly, with the third wave thrust possibly coming now. It'll become clearer once the wave is, but so far this is, as a third wave, this actually looks pretty shabby compared to the first wave here, so it does need some fireworks really to start coming alive, but I mean, we are making new highs for this move, so looking pretty good at the moment. Goes to silver. I mean, this A wave here does confuse you rather. I mean, it could be this is just a failed C, which would be a sign of strength, but I'm treating this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, although it may be that again, it may be part of 3, I think. But again, looking pretty good, despite this thing. I can't see silver falling through the floor at this point. I'd be very surprised if that happens, but of course these things do happen. But I think the chart looks fairly good. We can find some way of eliminating this ABC. It could be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this could be 3 perhaps, and then a 4 and a 5. There are various possibilities, but I mean, if it starts to fall away more seriously, then obviously I would be looking at changing the wave count, but right now the positives do pertain on silver. Right, price continues to go up in a 5th wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just waiting for the peak really. I think it'd be quite soon now, but currently we're still in an uptrend as far as FTSE is concerned. Oh, well, actually gave a pretty clear sell signal, but now it's actually taken out the high, albeit by a very slight margin. It may just have failed. It's difficulty on this chart. It's odd because this is a very clear 5. I say odd. These things of course happen. Nothing is 100%, but yeah. At the moment, the DAX continues to go up. I guess it could be an ABC. So an irregular ABC would fit in there. This would be the 5th wave coming in now. ABC. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. So I guess that needs to be the revised. I'll put it on a chart. In fact, it seems like a reasonably fair count. In a way, that does neaten up the patterns because it does means that the DAX now ties in with FTSE. So they're both seeing the final 5th wave, and the peak may come in some kind of harmony. Obviously, in early January now. January is a time these things often happen. I guess we've got a 1, 2 down to there, perhaps 3. So it doesn't look like it should be very long, very much in the future. I think a week at maximum should see the end of this probably. But obviously we'll monitor it as we go forward. So we'll look at the Dow. The Dow is betwixt and between. We've got the 5 waves up, 5 waves down, and now we've got a very corrective form with a 1, 2, and this could be the final 3. And the 50% level is right where the market is now, 33,700. This could well be it could be a peak of an important peak. In fact, so I'd watch the action come next week because it's not impossible. This may be a reversal point, being right on the 50% level. Depends how it goes, but obviously the early action may give some clear indications. Right, Nasdaq is clearly leading the way here. Already peaked some time ago. So we've got 5 waves down, similar correction to the Dow really, so again I think a peak anytime soon and a further fall. I think this is going to be coming in, well, probably next week in fact. It's quite likely that we'll be heading downwards in a few days' time on all 4 of these equity markets that we cover. That will probably give a boost to gold and silver in fact, and maybe even the cryptos. Depends how it goes. That's all today. For that introduction, we'll back to the report on Tuesday. Please feel free to get in touch if you have any questions. Always happy to deal with anything that comes up that you'd like to discuss. And I'm happy to discuss that on anything that's not on a video that's useful to all of you. Anyway, bye for now, and speak to you again on Tuesday. Cheerio.